Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Pony Montana, and in this video, we are going to be going over the best passing tips for you to become an elite passer in Madden 24. Now, before I get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment anything down below, and become a part of the Noti Gang, Noti Gang, Noti Gang. If you have nothing to comment, whether it's not a play or whatever, just comment FT. Shout out to the FTA squad, the FTA gang. If you guys don't know what it is, man, it's for the algorithm, and it helps push these videos to more and more people, helps us grow more. So if you comment down below, this helps us grow. Can't thank you guys enough. Now let's get right into it, man. Tips to become a better passer. And the first thing that we're going to be going over is the debate of classic passing versus freeform passing. And I'm going to be the first person probably to tell you, get back on classic. Classic is going to be a godsend once a Deadeye comes out. Like, I believe right now I have Warren Moon with pro reads, which means that most of his throws are going to be Deadeye passes, which what that means is that every pass is going to be on the money. It's going to have a Deadeye little animation at the bottom, and you're going to end up completing all your passes without them being overthrown, etc., etc. It's all going to be Deadeye passes, and this is going to be the case if you are on classic passing. Now, yes, freeform passes can create some weird little angles when you're passing the ball, but I don't care about angles. I don't care about any type of crazy angles, because a majority of the time we're just trying to throw our man open, and freeform does not do the greatest job of that. Now, having a Deadeye or something like that will allow you to sit there and throw your passes on the money a majority of the time, instead of messing up with all of this freeform passing type of stuff. It's not a bad thing to have, but if you want to keep it simple, which is to me a huge part of Madden, hop back on classic passing so you don't have to worry about accuracy and all that stuff and letting the ball go at a certain point. You simply just have to hold it for a bullet pass, touch it for a touch or a lob pass, and that's it. Now, second thing that we are going to be talking about is blocking blitzes in Madden 24. This is a huge part of becoming a good passer, because if you can't block a blitz, if you can't sense pressure, you're gonna end up on a bad side of things. And this is just a simple example here. Most of the time you can simply get away with just blocking your running back and then trying to make a read. As you can see, he ends up getting a block shed there, so we end up not being able to get a pass off. But blocking blitzes is going to be something that is going to be huge when it comes to your level of playing Madden. This is if you guys want me to make a more in-depth video about blocking blitzes, I will. But to become more of an elite passer, you have to learn how to block blitzes. Now, I'm not saying every single blitz is extremely hard to block, but most blitzes you can get away with blocking either your running back or B, your tight end. And then obviously there's, play action kind of situations where it'll help you block blitzes even more. But again, this is a simple way to simply just keep on, to add more blockers into the mix just by blocking one of your running backs or your tight end if you are trying to block somebody. As you can see, we end up picking up the blitzer off of the edge, and we end up making a nice little read there. Now, pretty much on the same, wavelength as blocking a blitz is probably the most important thing in this video, and that is pocket presence. A lot of people fail to realize that pocket presence is probably the most important thing when it comes to passing the ball. What pocket presence is your ability to kind of climb up in the pocket, and as you can see, I have space and opportunity to sit there and kind of create a pocket around me so that I can move up in the pocket. There are certain people that as soon as a play is hiked, they will drift back the entire time, and as soon as you get to a certain point, there are no more icons. The problem with drifting back is they take away your icons, and you will always get somewhat of an inaccurate pass, no matter how wide open that person is. I'm going to throw to R1 right now, and it's going to be overthrown, as you can see, because I am too far back. So EA doesn't even register my guy being able to make an accurate pass when it comes to that. This is a huge thing. Instead of climbing back in the pocket, learn how to move around the pocket so that, you create your own little pocket, and potentially this is going to be the thing that makes you a better passer. Once you get comfortable moving up in the pocket, moving side to side, kind of creating that space, that is when you are going to become an elite passer. Pocket presence is what the best passers in Madden all have, and it's, you know, it's the same thing if you're playing in real life. Tom Brady, great pocket, and then obviously we make a few guys miss, and the GOAT goes ahead and scores. Pocket presence. If you want me to make a more in-depth video on any of these, leave it down in the comment section below, because pocket presence is absolutely huge. Now, the next tip, and this is another important thing as well, and that is reading the defense. Reading defenses pre-snap is going to allow you to become a better passer, simply because you're going to be able to sit there, and I'm just going to call a random play on defense, but you're going to be able to sit there and think to yourself, man, I might have a cover 2 beater, a cover 3 beater, a man beater that is going to be, you know, that I'm going to need to run depending on what kind of coverage the person that I'm playing against is. Now, again, another video that we can make that can be more in depth, but reading coverages is going to be the difference in you knowing whether you're playing a cover 4, cover 2, cover 3. This was a cover 4, but that's going to be the difference. Knowing what kind of plays to call. Like right now, this looks like it could either be cover 1 or cover 3. We don't know, so we're going to set up a situation where we're going to be able to beat cover 1 and cover 3. This is how you become a better passer. Now this looks like a cover 1 with our safety over the top, blah 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 blah. Perfect. And that's exactly what we looked for. We looked for it being a cover 1. Again, we can make another video, but as soon as you know what type of coverage your defender is running, then all of a sudden you can set up a play that is going to benefit you in whatever kind of situation you think that they're in. Obviously, this changes pre-snap and after the snap. Once after the snap gets called, you'll notice that these guys kind of they'll look at the player that they're chasing at. This is the best example right here. As you can see, his face is no longer turned towards the quarterback, simply because he's not in a zone. This guy was in a hook zone, and so was this guy. So these guys won't chase after anybody. These guys will end up chasing because they're in man coverage, and they're just looking right at the receiver. That's like the biggest tell when you're facing someone who's playing man coverage or man up on anybody, is that they'll start looking right at the player that they're supposed to be defending. So again, making your pre-snap reads and after the snap reads are extremely important, and these are just 2 quick little tips on reading certain kind of defenses. Like this, again, this looks like either a cover 3 or a cover 1, and we're gonna treat it as such. And this is a cover 3, which means the seams should be open. Horrible pass by me, of course. Had to wait a little bit longer, but this was a cover 3. This looks like a cover 3 as well, so I'm just gonna call it again. This is a cover 3. We wait for the seams to open up, and good swat by the defender, and GG's. Again, seams end up being open against a cover 3. Against a cover 2, the deep middle and the far outsides end up being open. Against man coverage, you just got to learn the man coverage beaters. We dropped that in an earlier video. But again, there's so many things that you need to learn when it comes to reading defenses pre-snap and after the snap. So the final tip of the video is knowing when to touch pass or bullet pass. There are so many situations where you have a guy that's wide open, and some people will bullet or touch pass depending on what they're comfortable doing. I'll tell you this right now. The only time you ever want to bullet pass is if you have a man beat over the top for a touchdown. Not if you have a man beat and he's running like a crossing pattern, or you know, a post route, a corner, anything like that. Like this right here, he's got his man beat. But if I touch past that, this guy's gonna catch up as well as this guy, and they're not even, that's not even their assignment. The only guy that shouldn't have a chance is this guy. But if I touch past this play here, this guy's gonna catch up, this guy's gonna catch up, and then this guy, number 13, is also gonna catch up, allowing the defender to make a play on the ball. We don't want that. That is not what we want. If this guy over here was wide open, that's when we're going to touch pass. If you see that they have like a step on the defender, that's when we're going to go ahead and try to launch that thing over the top. Cover 2. Good swat. But again, if they're in some kind of zone and stuff like that, you never pretty much want to touch pass. You always want to bullet pass something because you want the pass to get in there as fast as possible. If I touch pass this pass here, all of a sudden I have 3 defenders who are going to be able to make a play on the ball, and that's not something that we want. I'm trying to get a decent example. Again, this is another force. This is another, you know, bullet pass situation. Now, the bullet pass, you just hold the icon in which, you know, that you're trying to pass to. If you're trying to bullet pass, if you're trying to touch pass, you simply just touch the button, and that is going to create an animation like that. And as you can see, that was a little fluky because it's Madden, but that is the difference. We have a touch pass, or I'll do it one more time, is you simply touch the button, and as you can see, he ends up lobbing it. And then if you want to bullet that, you hold the button, and I'm just gonna hold it no matter who I'm throwing to. You hold the button and boom, you try to squeeze it into tighter windows, and that is gonna change how the play ends up playing out. So let me do one more touch pass here. Okay. And another thing when it comes to these touch passes, if your receiver is too far down the field, you're not gonna want to touch pass. You want to touch pass like probably around like 20-30 yards up. That's probably like the extent of when you should touch pass. You have to notice that he's beating his man early on. You can't wait till they're halfway up the field. As you can see right here, this is a perfect way to touch pass because I passed it about 15 yards up the field while the receiver's up there, which allows the quarterback to have a little bit more space to throw the ball. If you wait too long, not every quarterback can throw 70 yards down the field, which is going to affect your play a lot. And again, we don't want to give the defender any time to catch up to your pass and even have any chance of making a play on it. So this was a perfect example of the touch pass situation. These are the best tips to become an elite passer in Madden. These are literally the best. There are no other tips that will change your game more than these. If you learn to block blitzes, if you learn pocket presence, if you learn how to read defenses, if you learn when to touch pass or bullet pass on top of, you know, having your freeform / classic passing settings to where you'd like them, these are the best tips to become an elite passer. So hopefully you guys get on the field after reading these, get in the lab, get in the practice booth, whatever you call it, and become an elite passer. My name is Pony Montana. Hopefully you guys appreciate and enjoy this video. I will see you guys in the next one, man. As always, 2 fingers, deuces, and peace out, you guys.